Oh, okay.
Because I ran hard.
Yeah.
So Virgil's like, dude, you do everything hard. Jump rope, shadow block. You don't need 7 days a week, 6 days a week. So the days I spar, that's the main focus.
Yeah.
Sparring, and then if we
David Benavidez teams up with Andre Ward ahead of his showdown with David Morrell, raising eyebrows as many question if the extra training can help him overcome the Cuban's slick skills.
Every time I have my training camp, I'll do 3 different sparrings, 4, 4, and 4. And you know, when in there, when you get the second fresh sparring, you have to adapt to your head. It helps you a lot.
David Benavidez has entered the final days of his preparation for one of the most anticipated matchups in the light heavyweight division, facing David Morrell. In the intense countdown to the fight, Benavidez has been working tirelessly in the gym with his camp, focusing on perfecting his already formidable skills. Among the influential figures who have been guiding Benavidez is none other than Andre Ward, a retired legend known for his elite boxing technique and impeccable strategy.
Pop's big on the rounds.
Huh?
Pops is big on a lot of rounds.
The least rounds we did were 11. So the whole camp, 3 different sparring partners, 12 rounds. I was just asking because now, like the new age people, some people say they don't spar.
It depends on guys who don't take a lot of punishment. You're gonna get hit, but I'm saying like punishment, they shouldn't spar a lot.
Yeah.
You getting beat up in sparring, you shouldn't spar a lot. But if you're a guy that, you know, basically dominates most of it, you spar a little more.
Ward, a Hall of Famer with extensive experience in the ring, has been helping Benavidez hone his approach for this particular bout. While Benavidez has been known for his raw power and aggressive fighting style, Ward has emphasized the importance of relying on technique rather than brute force. Despite the undeniable significance of landing power shots, Ward has stressed that Benavidez must focus on controlling the pace of the fight. By dictating the tempo and using his positioning and stance to limit Morrell's movement, Benavidez can effectively reduce the chances of his opponent finding success with counterpunching or elusive footwork.
Your height, your reach, and you naturally throw a lot of punches, bro. It's only 2 things you gotta work on, bro. Making this hand great. You don't have to go in there 2 fists every time. You still win, you still get off and do your thing, but it's harder. You make this great when you, with that height, when you come in, tap, tap, and then get the punches off, that much easier. You know what I'm saying? And then not trying to throw everything hard. You remember those 2 things? Make my jab great. I can win a whole round with this. And then when I want to bring these 2 hands now I'm inside, bing, bing, bing. But it's easy. You're not reaching, you're not loading, and then don't.
Ward's advice goes beyond just the basic technical elements of boxing. He highlighted the value of sparring, a crucial part of Benavidez's preparation for this fight. While sparring can sometimes feel repetitive, Ward explained, it is an essential tool for not only improving specific skills, but also preparing for the brutal demands of a high-level contest. The 175-pound division is known for its power and rugged fighting style, and Ward believes that Benavidez's sparring sessions will be vital in fortifying his ability to withstand heavy blows and push through the physical toll of a tough fight. For Benavidez, the goal isn't just to overpower Morrell, but to use his stamina, footwork, and strategic punches to break down his opponent's defense and set up decisive shots.
But when everybody fresh, just touch him. Because you're a big presence, so you ain't got to do a lot. You just jab, just get him in position, bing, bing, bing. All right, I'll be back to get that later. And just be patient. Your game will go up 30, 40% just on that. A lot of times what you do, you come in, you can see it. You want to go both hands. You come in, it's just, but you go here, you learn to make bing, bing. You get in position, bro, you got options now. I go here on you, go here on you, here on you, here on you, and then I'm back out with my jab. So me, everything was with this.
Benavidez's determination has been fueled not only by the technical training sessions with Ward, but also by his deep drive to carve out his legacy. While he acknowledges his undeniable power and knockout ability, Benavidez's mindset has shifted towards securing a place among the all-time greats of the sport. His goal is no longer just to be a dominant fighter in the light heavyweight division, but to cement his place among the elites of boxing. For this reason, he has tirelessly prepared, focusing on his jab and his ability to work his opponent into uncomfortable positions.
I'm not gonna raise up. I'm off to the side here, or if I'm here, bing, bing, I can here.
You kind of go with the motion of your body.
I'm reading you. I'm reading you. Or got 3 options. I'm off to the side here, off to the side here. If I'm here, I can always bring this out. So if you throw, then I'm bing, bing, bing. I'm right back.
That right hand, that's
this, bro. This.
Yeah.
You can be a really good fighter Both hands.
Yeah.
You could be all-time great if you make this great.
Yeah.
That's the hand.
Diego Pacheco firmly believes that David Benavidez will emerge victorious in his upcoming fight, crediting his relentless training and commitment. Despite being viewed by some as a cold and calculated figure, Pacheco highlights Benavidez's generosity in sharing wisdom from boxing greats like Andre Ward, proving he's not just a formidable fighter, but also a mentor to others in the sport.
I thank him a lot all the time, you know, because he's one of those guys that he always goes out of his way to try to help me, help other guys in the gym, and he really doesn't have to do that, but he does it out of genuine love. And
while the Benavidez camp has been overwhelmingly confident, other boxing experts have offered their predictions on the outcome of the fight, and they vary. Roy Jones Jr. has weighed in on the matchup, offering his analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of both fighters. Jones, whose expertise has helped numerous fighters sharpen their skills, sees Benavidez as the clear favorite for this fight. He commended Benavidez for his power, which he believes can take down any opponent with a single well-placed shot. Benavidez's experience and ability to break down his opponent's defenses, Jones argued, would make him a difficult challenge for Morrell, especially if the Cuban fighter cannot prevent Benavidez from gaining control of the fight early.
Then he'll have a much better chance. But if he don't hurt David Benavidez or not get David Benavidez respect early, the late round gonna be David Benavidez. So if he can shock him early or have him afraid early from hurting him, knock him down or something, he has a chance.
However, Jones also acknowledged that Morrell, though less experienced in the professional arena, has the potential to pose serious challenges. The Cuban fighter's unique style and extensive amateur background make him a dangerous opponent, according to Jones. For Morrell to have a shot at winning, he will need to start strong in the early rounds, making sure he remains evasive and punishes Benavidez with powerful shots to the body. If Morrell fails to impose his rhythm early, Jones believes that Benavidez will eventually take over the fight, breaking through Morrell's defense and punishing him with relentless power shots. The key, according to Jones, will be Morrell's ability to keep the fight at a distance, dictating the exchanges rather than getting caught in a war of attrition with Benavidez.
What do you think about that? Risky fight, but we'll find out what David Morrell really has, because a 9-0 Cuban is like a 25-0 anybody else, because they have so many fights as amateurs that they have experience beyond any measure of people that we know. So a 9-0 Cuban is like a 25-0 anybody else. So don't pay that 9-0 no attention. But we'll find out how tough and how good he is, because if he can hurt David Benavidez.
Meanwhile, Benavidez's father and trainer, David Benavidez Sr., has been vocal about his belief that Morrell's decision to challenge his son at this stage of his career is a miscalculation. While acknowledging Morrell's potential and skill, Benavidez Sr. believes that the Cuban fighter is taking on a formidable challenge too early in his career. Benavidez's experience in the ring, combined with his size, strength, and unyielding offensive pressure, is expected to overwhelm Morrell, who has not yet faced a fighter with the same level of ferocity and power. Benavidez Sr. firmly believes that Morrell will regret taking the fight at this point, predicting that his son will make an example of the young Cuban.
Be known by the fighter that he never ran from nobody and wanted to give the fans the great fights and exciting fights. And that's why he called Al Heyman, and he said that he wanted that fight with David Morrell, because David Morrell's been talking a lot of shit, and, you know, a lot of people say that he's been ducking David Morrell. And the real fights that David wants are the Bivol and Benavidez. So in order to get those big fights, we got to go through David Morrell in order to get those other fights.
As the fight draws closer, more analysts and former champions continue to offer their opinions. Leonard Ellerbe, the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, has praised the fight for its potential to deliver an action-packed back-and-forth contest. Ellerbe believes that both fighters will experience moments of vulnerability and that the fans will ultimately come out as the winners in what promises to be a thrilling spectacle. However, he emphasized that while Morrell has the skills to make things difficult for Benavidez, the Mexican fighter's experience and relentless pressure would likely prove to be too much.
I anticipated this to be a very 50-50 kind of fight. I expected somebody's gonna hit the canvas, and it probably might be early, and the other person might get hurt in the fight. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows in this particular fight, because both guys really want it bad, and want to make a big statement. It's gonna be a lot of trash talking with the build-up. So this is one of those kind of fights that the fans will actually win.
Lonnie B has praised Morrell's impressive boxing style, highlighting his exceptional footwork and defensive acumen. Morrell's ability to land clean punches while avoiding incoming shots makes him a tricky customer, and Lonnie B sees the Cuban's elusiveness as a factor that could trouble Benavidez. While Benavidez typically overwhelms opponents with his size and strength, Lonnie B believes that Morrell's agility and strategic counterpunching could force Benavidez to adjust his usual approach, making for an interesting tactical battle between the two fighters.
Tough fight. David Morrell is really good. He's really, really good. Yeah, he's good. I can't even. He's good. You know?
You kind of giving me a face like you don't know who wins that fight.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
Because David Morrell is big too. He's big for super middleweight too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's big. He can punch. He's slick. Real got that Cuban style. What he Cuban?
Yeah.
Like real slick.
But offensive with it.
Offensive with it. And those styles are tough for anybody to fight. Even
the Mexican monster?
Teddy Atlas has also chimed in on the upcoming fight, drawing comparisons between Morrell's rapid ascent in the sport and other boxing legends who made a quick impact early in their careers. Atlas noted that Morrell's background in amateur boxing, combined with his rapid transition into the professional ranks, sets him apart from many of his peers. However, Atlas also acknowledged that Benavidez's experience and proven power could be too much for Morrell to handle, especially considering the pressure and challenges Benavidez is capable of putting on his opponents.
Like only a few special fighters have, you know, guys like Lomachenko, Rigon Vial, you know, who else? There's been a few, but a handful of guys that could win a title in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights, which he did. So, hey, don't forget, I know people don't give him enough respect, but he really should get it. I can't help but say it. I like people getting respect when they should. I really do. Leon Spinks, you know, he beat Ali after what, 9 fights, whatever it was. So they didn't get the Canelo fight. You know, they're right in line for the winner of Bivol and Benavidez. And what do? They just sit around and, you know, twiddle their thumbs, or sit around and fight a soft touch? No, they take this. So I'm chomping at the bit. I'm really curious for that fight.
Andy Cruz predicts a knockout victory for David Morrell. He stated, "What I can say about Morrell is he's a typical Cuban fighter. He's always smiling and he's always dancing. I see him very similar to me, always joking and always dancing. Perhaps he's even worse than me. In terms of his focus for this fight, I see him really focused. It's gonna be a difficult fight, but I think he's gonna put on a good show. I see him winning. I don't just see him winning, I see him winning by knockout." Paulie Malignaggi has been vocal in his belief that the real headline fight in the light heavyweight division is between Benavidez and Morrell. While Canelo Alvarez controls the financial side of boxing, Malignaggi argues that the true talent in the division resides with these two fighters. Both Benavidez and Morrell have the skills necessary to defeat Canelo, according to Malignaggi, and the outcome of their bout will determine who takes the mantle as the future of the weight class.
But the biggest problem is this: all the money is in Canelo Alvarez, but the best fight is probably Benavidez versus Morrell. You know what I mean? Like the best fight in terms of the top, who are actually the top 2 guys in this weight class are probably Benavidez and Morrell. I think they both beat Canelo. You know, so it's funny because all the money's with Canelo, so everything revolves around Canelo, and this is why this sport is backward.
Jaime Munguia also weighed in on the fight, expressing his excitement for the upcoming showdown. While Munguia believes that Benavidez's greater experience will give him the upper hand, he has acknowledged Morrell's ability to make things difficult for the champion. Munguia sees the fight as closely contested, with the potential for either fighter to claim victory depending on how the contest unfolds in the ring.
What's your reaction to David Benavidez fighting David Morrell? How do you see that fight?
Bueno, yo creo que sin duda va a ser una pelea muy buena. Pienso que debería ganar Benavidez por su experiencia, porque tiene mucha más experiencia que Morrell, entonces creo que es un peleador más fuerte, pero Morrell también es un peleador muy bueno, entonces sin duda va a ser una gran pelea.
You like it?
Sí, me gusta. Sí.
¿Por qué?
Pues yo creo que los dos son invictos, pues están en la misma empresa, se conocen, saben, no sé, se me hace una pelea muy emocionante.
Dimitri Bivol remained neutral in his assessment, acknowledging Morrell's potential but refraining from offering a prediction on the outcome of the bout. Bivol is known for his analytical approach to boxing, and he has reserved judgment on how the matchup will play out.
To be honest, I didn't see anything about this fight, but I know Benavidez. I saw a couple of short clips of Morrell, and it's an interesting fight. Really big fight.
Robert Garcia emphasized the importance of this fight for the future of boxing. Garcia sees both Benavidez and Morrell as rising stars in the light heavyweight division, and he believes this bout will have significant implications for the future of the sport. While Garcia believes that Benavidez's experience and physical attributes give him an edge, he respects Morrell's skills and acknowledges that this could be a thrilling contest.
How does that fight go?
It's gonna be sick. See, those are the fights that need to happen, man. Those are the fights that the world wants to see. You know, I was talking about Bam, but there's no big names for Bam at 115. 118, maybe a couple. 122, maybe one day, 3 years from now. But Benavidez, you know, and Morrell, they both move up to a division where they're chasing the big fights, and now they're fighting each other. That's just fucking badass, man. That's gonna be a sick fight.
Sean Porter has similarly given Benavidez a slight edge due to his experience and strength. Porter sees the mental advantage that Benavidez's past battles with tough opponents provide as a key factor in the fight. Nonetheless, he recognizes that Morrell has the skills to pose a serious threat and suggests that the fight will be close and competitive.
I think that David is special. I think that he's gonna get better. Like you said, I don't think he peaked. Yeah. I think he's peaking, but I don't think he is as good as he's gonna be. You never see that till you in the biggest fight of your life.
Gonna get better.
He's gonna get better. You never see how good he truly is until he's in the biggest fight of his life.
As both fighters near the ring, the boxing world watches with bated breath. The predictions continue to pour in, and while many favor Benavidez due to his power and experience, the unpredictable nature of the sport keeps Morrell in the conversation. So what are your thoughts about this? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.